2026 Bentley Continental GT Drive. Not so junior varsity. The Continental GT's Core and Azure trims may not be the most powerful Contis on the lot, but they're still Bentleys. Last year, Bentley launched the Continental GT's new varsity lineup, the Speed and Mulliner trims. Both took the field with the brand's ultra-performance hybrid powertrain co-developed with Porsche, pairing a twin-turbo for 0.0-liter V8 and an electric motor to produce 771 horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque. The Speed variant focuses on the dynamic angle, while the Mulliner's Mo is super luxurious touches to continue as the Conti GT's flagship dot now. It's time for the junior varsity lineup. A familiar duo of trims with similar divisions of labor, the Core Don't Say Base. Continental GT takes the entry-level position, and the Continental GT Azure matches the Core stats while expanding the luxury component. A high-performance hybrid powertrain, mechanically identical to the Ultra variant in the bigger brothers, has a slightly lower output. Instead of the twin-turbo V8 making the 591 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of the varsity cars, the engine in the JV Duo produces 512 horses and 568 pound-feet. The assistance comes from the same 188 HP electric motor, packaged inside the 8-speed dual-clutch transmission case, hooked up to a 22K WH battery pack. Total output comes to 671 horsepower and 686 pound-feet of torque. The trade-off, however, is that the new models gain several hundred pounds of mass over their predecessors, with estimated curb weights coming in around 5,000 for 100 pounds for the GT and 5,800 pounds for the GTC convertible dot to delineate the Core and Azure models from a distance. Look for an Azure badge on the fender and other bright plumage on the luxury trim. The Core favors the understated. Its black matrix grille framed by a chrome surround and cut by a single chrome center vertical bar, above black lower intakes. The Azure's grille adds bright work with 11 vertical chrome bars and chrome-covered lower intakes. The JV luxury trim also sits on an exclusive 22-inch wheel in silver and bright machined metal. Like the Core model, it can be optioned with the Mulliner's animated welcome lamps. Every Bentley cabin is a paean to leather and self-care, even that of a Core Continental GT. The self-care bit is where the Azure, as apprentice to the top-spec Mulliner, asserts itself. Open-pore, crown-cut walnut trim veneers and 3D quilting on the doors come standard. But there are some supremely snazzy pinstripe veneers on the options sheet, and a secret options menu filled with every wish your bank account can support. Other standard equipment includes heated and ventilated front seats with massage, plus the Touring, Comfort, and Mood lighting packages. Touring is the real relaxer, adding a handful of driver assistance aids including adaptive cruise control, night vision, and a head-up display that our first drive took place in a quaint Montana town, chaperoned by wary resort security and side-eyeing locals who had the sheriff on speed dial. We need to get the new coupe back to our Michigan test track to know for certain. But initial impressions are that relaxed indulgence is the best way to approach a drive in the new Continental GT. Inputs and responses are fine. And electric motoring in a car already known for in-car hush is the Luxardo Maraschino Cherry atop the Conti GT Sunday. Given that we recorded a 2.8-second 60 mph time in the more powerful GT Speed, we estimate the Core powertrain should make for sprints in the low to mid 3-second range. Handling helpers include new twin-valve dampers paired with dual-chamber, air springs, and electronically controlled limited-slip rear differential. And rear axle steering, the same stuff the varsity team gets. Problem is same as on the more powerful cars. The power and chassis tech are kneecapped through turns by 22-inch Pirelli P0 elect summer tires that prioritize low rolling resistance over outright grip. This is the first Continental GT that squealed its tires well below our threshold of fear. What gives? Bentley created a new automotive outpost with the GT in 2003. At the time, it was an insanely high-powered grand tourer whose manner, like English luxury, didn't compromise. What we called impressively high handling limits. To decades later, when we shook down the 2020 to GT speed at lightning lap, we called it a gentleman's racer and wrote, there might be cars that beat the Bentley Continental GT speed's lap time, but nothing that turns a faster lap is as decadent or luxurious. On our exhaustive lightning lap leaderboard, the 2020 to GT speed lodged itself between a 2017 Audi R8 V10 Plus and a 2020 for Nissan Z Nismo. More recently, we discovered that the new and more powerful 2025 GT Speed took for 0.5 seconds longer to complete. The 4.1-mile lap of Virginia International Raceway's Grand Course. A bit of backsliding we put down to those Pirellis. The 2025 Speed hit the leaderboard between a 2020 to BMW M240 iX Drive and a 2006 Ford GT. Almost a second behind a 2018 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat wide body. Bentley seems to be leaning into the notion of adding more power and more frugality with handling squeezed to the fringes of the graph. If this speaks to you, another upshot with the new car is 39 miles of EPA estimated all-electric range, taken as it comes off the showroom floor. The new Continental GT V8 fulfills its name more strictly than ever before. Focus on both the grand and the touring, and live deliciously in the wellness and self-care. Or you could try and unlock some of the magic from the good old days with a stickier set of rubber from your local tire shop.